Hello everyone, this is just a quick description of how you join and control the most important settings in Zoom. So when you get a Zoom invitation, it tends to look like this in your email. The meeting ID is repeated quite a few times in this message, so often you don't have to look too hard for it, which is nice. And all the Zoom rooms run off that meeting number, a bit like all the other teleconferencing systems. The number is important. It's not like Skype, so you don't join, you don't become friends with people, and it doesn't necessarily ring you. You'll need to click on the link when the meeting is about to start, when your designated meeting is about to start. So that's why it's often really useful to have it as a diary invite. The most common way that people join Zoom rooms is to click on the link. If you have an iPhone, sometimes people tell me it's very useful and convenient to run it off the app or to use this iPhone One Tap. That will tend to only give you an audio call. To telephone, ignore this one if you're not at QUT. We'll just make that red. But there's always two options for an Australian phone number, and then you'll be prompted to type in the meeting ID. There's also international numbers, but I won't go into that for now. So let's imagine that I am in my emails and I'm clicking on that link. So that will pop up, first of all, a web page about Zoom, and then, there I am. I'll just make that a little bit better sized. There's my Zoom room. The first thing you get in front of your face is a little box that is showing you your computer audio options. Some people will always like to test the speaker and microphone. So here we go. If you click on this, I hear a ringtone. Yes. Speak and pause. Do I hear my reply? So it does that automatically. All you have to do is talk a little bit and then stop talking, and it will feed you that information. So I'm happy with the quality there. I'll join with computer audio, and it confirms for me I've joined with computer audio. But always make sure that you can see the visual that you're broadcasting to others, and it often gives you a prompt to make sure you know whether you can be heard. Now, the important thing down the bottom of this screen is a mute button, and often in big groups it is really handy to mute yourself while the conversation is going on. So this is a really important tool that you can use just to make sure that other people in the room can't hear you while you're still joining that meeting. If you've got a lot of background noise, it's also always appreciated if people mute while they're not speaking. So I'll pop that back on. You can always change your speaker system preferences or your microphone preferences. I can also stop my video and start my video again. And so that's just using that button there. I can, if someone comes into the room and needs to have a confidential conversation right in the middle of a large teleconference, I can stop the video, mute the microphone, and I'm quite safe to do that. Come back to, and maybe even listen to the room, come back to the room when I need to. I can see who else is in there. And if there's someone that I think should be in the room or is telling me, maybe even calling me saying they can't get into the room, I can invite them directly. I can use these emails. I can invite by my contacts and other methods. I can also just copy the URL and then paste that into an email if that's easier for me. The only other thing, I guess there's other tools and options. They're not as useful for most people. The chat function, you probably will want to know if your microphone doesn't work and you need to ask a question. It's not ideal, but you can type and send it to everyone in the room. Or if there were other people in the room, I'd be able to select a private message as well. Generally, the leader of the meeting can see all the private messages anyway, so do be careful with that. And then the last tool that is really, really important is the end meeting. Just click that when you're finished and you're right to go. The other option is to enter full screen. If there's other people, I might get to select, there might be an option up there that says select speaker mode. So as soon as it detects sound, the most voluminous person, the camera will switch to that person. So you just have one big face and it's always the person who's speaking. So that can be quite helpful as well. I hope this has been useful for you. If there's any problems with any of this webcasting or teleconferencing in this way, the best thing to do is to actually go back to your invitation and pick up the phone and just dial one of the Australian numbers, your meeting ID, and then at least you can join by audio rather than having to muck around and get frustrated with a piece of technology. So, but hopefully it should work nice and easy for you.